Hello and welcome to Abin Time, where your hosts Kat
And Maddie.
discuss a wide variety of topics. Now, back when we first were setting all this up, we put a whole bunch of topics in a spreadsheet, and we're trying to figure out what order to talk about them in.
Yeah.
And we ended up setting these kind of milestone topics.
It's funny because this milestone topics was this is episode number 10, but then we started doing silly things like homework
Two-parters.
and two-parters. So we are off now. But
We're off,
let it be
but
known.
it's the 10th actual topic, excluding homework time.
Yeah, it's a 10th. Yeah.
Abin Time topic for sure.
Topic.
So, and again, not including the two-parter last week, which was fun. I mean, it was fun at least.
It was needed.
It was needed, yes.
Very needed.
Oh boy. So this topic was originally, and I'm going to quote this: "Most precious angel character that deserves all the protection." But when we were trying to figure out who to talk about, we realized that's possibly like a 5-hour discussion.
Based on my very quick list of writing people down, I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and that's a whole cast. So a lot of people.
Yeah. So we've decided we're going to keep the milestone topic in theory, but we're going to narrow the focus a lot for this particular episode, and it's a topic we'll come back to from time to time for different series or different genres or however we decide to do it. So
Or we
today
feel
we're
sad
gonna-
and we're gonna talk about a character we love because
we
must.
We're just gonna gush. Note number 2. This is going to be a spoiler-heavy episode. I'm going to try not to spoil anything directly, but at the same time, the character we're talking about today, characters we're talking about today, kind of just inherently spoil things, and there's nothing we can do about that. So, yeah. Today we're going to talk about the most precious angel character that deserves all the protection from Trails in the Sky.
From
We
that,
each have
they should be obvious, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you know me, you know my pick, and I'm pretty sure Maddie's pick is pretty transparent too. But
I mean,
yeah.
it's. You said we both have one, and I'm like, well.
Okay, yeah, like we say we have one. We have one we're mainly going to talk about. We're going to end up talking about the whole goddamn cast. There's nothing you can do to stop us. It's our podcast, damn it.
Yeah, you can't. You don't know where we live. Looks around.
And even if you did, that wouldn't really help you that much. Anyways,
Yes.
So that is pretty much how this all came to be. I will probably in another 10 topics or so come back to this. Maybe even 5 topics. Maybe next week.
Maybe next
we'll
week.
still be sad.
Yeah. Right. Sorry, I got distracted because next week is a little difficult for me to record.
I know, yes.
I
we're not
totally
recording
forgot.
next week.
I forgot.
But
I'm
we'll
sorry.
record the week after and it'll all be good.
It'll be great.
So,
Okay, we should probably get going before
yeah.
we have.
Before you get any more distracted, for sure.
I'm now eating Skittles. I'm like an idiot. I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
Go for it. It's fine.
You got that Skittle addiction. Anyways,
Mhm.
so who is the character you were most going to talk about on today's episode?
So, it's complicated. I guess I would say it's Bestel, but it's in reality Bestel and Joshua.
Right.
'Cause,
Well, that makes sense.
like, they go together
They
for
do.
very obvious reasons. Like,
And-
you're
and their
10 minutes
stories
in
are
the
so
game,
yeah.
and
Are you saying you didn't get gifted a boy as a present on your 10th birthday?
no, I got gifted a Wii.
Oh, there you go.
It was close enough, right?
Yeah,
Think?
sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, no, man. Oh God, these characters, the most. Just want to hug them. You just want to make sure they're okay.
Yeah, I just want to make them happy, that's all.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't help that a lot of the second game is just them in pain.
Yeah, it's like they took all the happiness and the fluff and the joy and the world building from the first game and went to the second game and said, ha 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 ha.
And they do that great thing of leaving right, or like picking up right where they leave off, and like that heart wrenching, just like pain filled moment. And you're just like, no.
But I think we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Very
in that
much
regard.
so. But yes.
So I have to ask,
Oh god.
when did you start loving that character?
Um,
What was the moment where you're like, yes, these are perfect, precious angels?
man, you know what? That's hard. Because keep in mind, I played Trails of Cold Steel first.
That's right.
So I was already like, nobody could beat Reen.
He's
Reen is my boy.
a good boy.
He's such a good boy. Oh. It was very close to talking about Reen today, just saying. Anyway, but this is the Sky Edition. We finally figured out a format.
Yep.
The first, so I sat down and I was like, I guess I'm finally going to play Trails in the Sky. I guess it's happening. Huh. And again, at this moment, I had not talked a lot to Kathleen at all.
No, in fact, at that point, the only time I had ever talked to her was through her brother Nick.
Yes. We had some good conversations back then. Anyway.
We did.
But so I sat down and I got brave and I was all like, look what I'm doing at Rachana. I'm playing Trails in the Sky. And she liked it. And I was like, yay!
Anytime somebody's playing a Kiseki game, I'm all like, yes, yes.
So I started it and I was like, these old graphics don't really bug me, and the drawing, and I was like, oh, this is nice. I like this. And yeah, it's like a little Estelle, and I'm like, that's pretty cute. And then yeah, you get dumped a boy just right here, just and I'm like, wait.
Opening cutscene of the game.
Opening cutscene of the game, and I'm like, huh? And then he wakes up, and then Estelle just kicks the shit out of him while he's down.
Yes,
and I'm like,
he's injured.
I'm like, wait, okay. I did not expect this. And then it's like, 6 years later, they're brother and sister. I'm like, what? And from then on, I was like, I gotta know what happens. It was like that first opening cutscene. I was like, I think these are some good characters. This is interesting.
I would wholeheartedly agree. Like, the second that Estelle is given the boy, and her first reaction is to A, yell at her dad for giving her a boy as a present, and B, kick the shit out of the injured boy. I was like, this is a character I'm gonna get behind.
Yeah, it was like, what's your name? And he's like, I don't have to talk to you. And he's just like, did I ask you for your permission? It's like, oh, Estelle.
It's like, Estelle, like, A, he's injured. B, like, seriously, he's got the murder eyes going. Maybe tone it down.
That's what was like. It's like that's what drew me in, right? Because now I'm gonna talk about Focus to Joshua. Because it's like he had the murder eyes. And I'm like, oh dear. And then it does do the time skip of like they're brother and sister, and I'm like, okay, what happened in those 6 years? Like, what? Wait a second here, guys.
And he's so much gentler in the 6 years. Like he's smiling and he's almost quiet and just a little sweetheart. He couldn't hurt a fly.
Calm voice of reason.
Yeah.
So Estelle being all like, let's do everything. He's like, Estelle, hold on.
Wait, but I want to hit it with my stick.
No, sometimes there's better ways. It's like, oh my god, they're so, like, their dynamic just right off the bat is like, I don't know how this got this way, but it is adorable. Right?
Yeah, and it works so well.
But,
like,
yeah, like, you continue. Yeah, you do it.
What, me? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you were starting, and I was like, I just interrupted that.
Well, no, I love how cute they are together, and how, like, they constantly make up for each other's shortcomings, because Joshua is extremely analytical and doesn't necessarily take the human aspect into account. It's just like, okay, let's do this. And she's like, yeah, maybe no, because bad.
Yeah. Whereas Estelle really likes to, like, just jump the gun and do things
like,
based on emotion and how she feels, and sometimes he's like, whoa, now.
And when I first played it, I was quite young too, so when I was playing it, I was like, and the options were like, hold back and see what happens, or jump in there with guns blazing. It's like, jump in there with guns blazing, go!
Oh, God.
And Joshua would always yell at me, and it's like, but I got the job done!
But I did it! Yeah.
Why are you mad? Why did I get docked a point? Jeez.
At the time I played it, I took the Joshua side of things most of the time.
Yeah, no, I replaying it as adult on PC, and granted I haven't gotten that far, but I found myself more naturally taking the Joshua route too, and it was like, oh yeah, okay, I see. I see why we had to do this game. Okay, fine. Can't just go in and hit everything with your stick. I get it.
Right, yeah. Damn it. But yeah, for the very first, like, the first like 10-minute cutscene, and then it's just like, and they're brother and sister, and things are great, and their personalities are like this. I'm like, oh, now, okay, there's something behind Joshua, and I was like, I gotta find out Joshua's past right off the bat. So I was like, okay, I'm in. You got me, game. I didn't think you could do it, but yep, these characters are interesting to me.
Yeah, I wasn't too worried again when I first played. I was quite young. But yeah, I wasn't like hugely worried about his past. I knew he was hiding something, but like who isn't in a JRPG?
Very true.
So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes, but I didn't see where it went. at
No,
all.
not at all. Like, again, I've played this like not as long as you've played it,
Yeah.
right? Like but it's like it has now been a decently long time. So it's like, man, and I remember second chapter a lot better than I remember first.
Yeah, because first is so fluffy and like nothing huge happens until like the very end.
Yeah, but
Like first chapter can be summed into they go into all the areas
they become
and then
racers.
shit goes down.
Well, it's like they become
And then the game
racers,
ends.
and then the game ends.
Yeah. Whereas second chapter, if you want to describe, it's a lot more work.
It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff's happening. But
Mhm.
yeah, holy crap. So it's like I think I'd also just come from playing. God, what did I just finish playing? It's like I didn't finish playing Cold Steel and then jump into it.
No, I think you played a Tales of game.
I think I
didn't you,
did
in
play the
between?
Tales of game. Oh, it's
Either
so
that or Persona.
freaking long ago. I did not. Oh my god, I did.
Yeah.
I finished playing Persona 5. That's why I was so amazed, because I was like, there's no way. Like, I'm in a game hole. Like, I finished playing the best game of my life, which is still the best game of my life. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, Trails in the Sky. I need something to play. And I started it, and it made me forget about Persona 5.
Yeah. Because you were in a Persona 5 like depression for a bit when you finished the game.
Yeah, I was. For a good old month. It was not good. It was bad. But yeah, I was like, I couldn't play. Like, the only games I could play was Heroes of the Storm because it wasn't a story-based game. It
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
how good am I at this game? Let me slay some scrubs. And yeah, I don't even remember how I started. I think I was actually just sitting in my chair, and I was like, I have nothing to do. I don't.
Let's play some
Yeah,
guy.
I was like, I like nothing sounded good, right? I was like, oh god. And then I looked on Steam, and I was like, I mean, and now it's better than never to start this game, I guess. So like, I picked up my Surface and went to my bed, and I was like, well, here we go. And then 10 minutes in, I was like, who are these people? They're adorable.
They're great.
So it's like,
And
that's
I love
impressive.
the pace it introduces Estelle and Joshua to the other characters too, because then you get to learn more about Estelle and Joshua as well.
Yeah. Pardon me.
It's all good.
But like, all of first chapter is set up, right? And I get that some people don't like that, right?
Well, because
But
it's not only is it set up, it's long setup. Like they're setting up an 100-hour game in the span of 40 hours. Like that's a lot of work.
It is, yeah. But like, I really love like world building and like
Same.
character building and all this shit, right? So even though the formula was exactly the same of, go to a province, meet a new character, solve a problem in that province, get the stamp, go to another province, like, it was always the same, but I never got bored because I was like, okay, who am I going to meet next? What more am I going to learn about Estelle and Joshua? Like, it always kept that going, and I kept learning more and more and more, and then you're like, oh, this is how they feel. And then you start rooting for them, and then shit goes down.
And it's funny because like I am staunchly against brother and sister characters being shipped together, but Joshua and Estelle don't bug me because they know they're not brother and sister. They've never like the brother and sister relationship is only there as a formality to make it less confusing for everybody else dealing with Cassius Sprite's children.
Yes.
But they're not actually related, and they never actually treat each other like a brother and sister. So-
Estelle does that like joke of like, I'm the big sister, so you listen to me, right? But it's like,
yeah. But
and-
that's as far as it ever goes.
well, to be fair, for the beginning of the game, Estelle holds on to that a little bit,
Yeah.
Because
Well, because she doesn't want to admit her feelings.
well,
To be the same. And never
she didn't
change.
see it at first.
That's true too. Yeah, she's a bit of a dunce.
She's a dunce.
So-
It's adorable. Oh my god, these characters are so precious. Anyway, because like the whole time, you like the beginning, you kind of don't know what's up, right, between
Mhm.
them, and then slowly things are happening, and like you definitely see Joshua's side first.
Well, especially because Joshua's a lot more open about the fact that he does care for Estelle in that kind of way. Like, he tells himself he isn't, but he 100% is and
Yeah.
does everything
And he
to.
like protects her so like much and stuff, and it's like, yeah, dude, and so much so that all the other characters you meet, like all of them
See it right away.
right away.
Even the one who likes Joshua is still like, yeah, I can't compete
don't have
with
a
what they've
chance.
got.
Oh man, that's reminding me of the thing in the third. Anyway, getting ahead of myself. Man.
Oh, I know the thing.
Oh,
We'll get there.
that thing was good. Anyway, God, sorry. Tread in the Sky is a good game, everyone. Okay.
It's a good game. Everyone should play. And if you haven't played, don't listen. Stop listening.
Stop listening right now. Like, shit, dude. But oh my God. Yeah, it's like it's the person who kind of breaks into her, right? Like making her realize isn't okay, yes. Spoiler. Sorry. It's too late.
We tried.
We
We
tried.
have to.
It isn't Chloe. It's kind of Chloe first, right? Where because
Well, yeah,
of the
'cause
thing,
she makes Estelle realize that she's feeling something
Kinda
akin to
jealous.
jealousy. Yeah.
and she was like, "Are you jealous?" And she's like,
No.
"No. Why would I be? Like we're brother and sister." Like the face it still has is like slightly red and stuff drawn in. It's like, oh Estelle, oh honey, no, And then it's Tina of all
Yeah.
people, who's just like I think she just goes up and just like, so do you love Joshua? And she's like, whoa, what? And the best part about that is they're like in the hot spring. And they're like the
Mhm.
girls' side, and then she's like, "I gotta get away from this," and she goes into the outdoor hot spring where Joshua's sitting, and she freaks out. Oh man, because she doesn't know how to admit it to herself, right?
Yeah, well, because this entire time for the past like 6 years, as you said, or 5 or 6 years, either way.
They were 10, and then they're 16, and then they
Yeah,
turned
right.
17. Yeah,
So yeah, that whole time she has been trying to see him like a brother, even though they never acted like siblings and they know they're not related.
right.
So like it was a familial bond, and she doesn't know how to reconcile the fact that no, it's more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just
It's just to protect, and then she just protect them, and then
and you think everything's gonna go fine, and then the end of the game
and
happens.
the end of the game happens.
Which we won't outright spoil, okay? We can't.
Are you?
I'm sure. We
Like-
can talk around it. I know it's gonna be hard, but we have to talk around it.
It's already spoiled enough. Like, we can try, but like, okay.
We'll try, but
Still-
it might slip.
Oh my god. Yeah, because you're like rooting for them, and like towards the end, they're all like, Joshua's like, "I'll tell you about my past," and then Estelle's like, "And I'll tell you how I truly feel."
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you kids! Oh my god, yes! Like, it's the moment you've been waiting for the whole game.
Yeah, it's like it's this payoff to what has been a rather chill game up to this.
Yeah. Like, stuff's been going down, but it's been fine, I guess, because, like, you've solved the problems and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you stopped a coup, right?
Yes.
So
that was the
So
biggest thing. And you're like,
that was the big conflict, and you're like, okay, great, I did a thing, great. That makes sense for the end of this game. Nothing bad can happen here, and then oh boy.
oh boy, is something bad happening. Like, yeah. I don't even remember how. Oh, God, I was so upset. Because I was playing it, and I was like, oh, the payoff. And then Estelle's kind of freaking out. And so she's like, I'm going to go eat ice cream. I'll be right back. And I'm like, Estelle, don't leave. 'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like something bad's going to happen if you leave. And da-da-da, what happens?
It was funny. Way back when Nick asked me to be on the spoiler cast for LHG, he was like, I was like, oh wait, no, I'll just replay a little bit of Sky because it's been a long time for me. And I opened up my save file, and I was saved right before that spot, and I was like, I don't want to.
I don't want to.
I changed my mind.
wanna.
I don't. I don't want to have her go for ice cream. I don't want to have her go sit in the little seating area because I remember
Don't
I
sit
don't
there.
need to see that again. And then I did it. And
Oh God.
why I do this to myself? This
Why?
hurts.
I was like in tears. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to like I was like, Joshua, no, it's okay, Joshua, you didn't know. Like you see how much it's hurting him, and I'm like
Yep.
the ultimate
Oh,
like
you
protect.
see him like break, and
Yeah.
it's heartbreaking.
Yes.
And then you think it's gonna be okay for a bit because
No. From the beginning,
Well-
I knew it was not gonna be okay.
I was hopeful. I was like,
I was
well,
not.
Maybe he'll just accept this and we'll fight
No.
together to make it right.
Oh my God.
And then no.
No. Like, she comes back and she's like, Joshua, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, smiling. And I'm like, this is bullshit. There's no way he's okay. Like, the fact that he had a fake smile on, I was like, there's no way in hell this is going to be okay. There's no way. Like, I know
Yeah.
how these characters operate. It's going to be bad. Like,
And the thing is, we know up to this point that Joshua does hide behind that fake smile when he's worried and like
Yes.
trying to make sure Estelle doesn't catch on.
though
'cause she's-
Gustelle starts to catch on. Like,
Yeah.
usually she catches on pretty quickly. Like, I think she knew something was wrong. Like, she had, like,
Yeah.
some thinking bubbles, like, okay, something's wrong with Joshua, like, during the dinner and stuff.
Mhm.
But it's like she didn't confront them until she did.
Well, I think she was maybe worried that he had figured out that she liked him and he didn't like her back.
That
I think-
that's fair. That's fair. I was so
Like-
worried about what was happening next because I saw it coming a mile away because
Oh,
like
yeah.
you were praying it wasn't happening, but you know, there's a cliffhanger that's like well known in that
Yeah.
Sky has a cliffhanger, and I'm like, there's a cliffhanger. This is happening.
See,
But-
I didn't have the warning of Sky having a cliffhanger. So
Right. So
I
you were
was-
hopeful.
I was hopeful that they would talk it out and we'd transition into the next game because I didn't know it had a cliffhanger. I did know the second game was the day after that event.
Okay. That's
So-
fair. That's fair.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, this is a good place to end it, and he'll want revenge for reasons, and we'll work together, and it'll all be good. And then he kissed her.
And then she admitted her love for him. And
Yeah.
then he kissed her.
And then he kissed her.
And then
And then the game ends. I mean, there's a thing that happens before the game ends.
I
but
gotta talk about it. Can't.
Okay, fine. We'll talk about it. We've not spoiled the main thing I didn't want to spoil. Okay, so
Which was
the thing that happens
his
before all
backstory?
this.
His backstory.
Yes, his backstory.
Okay, that's fine. It's just
Fine, talk about it.
no. His backstory I don't need to talk about, right?
No, I know, but I'm saying talk about the thing you want to talk about.
What? It's like based on what we said, you could
Yeah.
figure it out. He kisses her, but in that kiss, he sedates her,
Yeah,
so he can disappear.
He put something in her mouth, and that's the thing. When she plays and says, "What you just put in my mouth," I remember literally just gasping and nearly dropping my PSP
Yeah,
'cause-
I kind of gasped too. I was like, "There's no way he fucking did that, Joshua."
because like my left hand immediately went to my mouth. I was like, "No, no, 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 no."
She's like, "Don't worry, it's a fast-acting sedative." It's like, "What? No! What have you done?" Oh my god, I was freaking out so hard, and it's just
And at
like,
that point, I'm going, "Don't end, don't end,
Yeah,
don't
and
end,
you know
don't
what's
end,
coming.
please don't end."
and just the things he says, because she says, he's like, "I've always loved you," and I'm like, "Oh god, no."
I know. Like, oh.
And then this sun analogy, that's the best analogy, and it's like, oh, and then the last line of the time with my time with you has been the best in my life, but sometimes I
Yeah.
think it's been better if we had never met. And I'm like, no, Joshua, you can have this life, I swear.
Yep.
And then the game ends.
And then the screen fades to black, and you get the end credits, and it's like, you can't end there. And at this point, the friend I had who was like, it's funny. He's like, "You should play this game." I'm like, "Oh, I'm already playing it." And
You
he's like,
shouldn't finish
"Okay."
it, is what he said.
Yeah, and he did say that. He said, "You might want to hold off on like finishing it too quickly, because the next game, it's like they had to split one game into two, and the next game doesn't have a release date." I'm like, "I'm sure it'll be eventually."
Man, he tried.
He
Props to
did.
him for
He
trying.
had my back. Matt's a good dude. So yeah. So yeah, I beat the game, and I'm like, so do they have an estimate for when this will come out? And he's like, no, but I'll let you know if I see anything. Fast forward 4 years. And a couple of news things saying it's been postponed indefinitely, and good times. I survived.
I'm so sorry for you. Because, yeah, it's my turn to rub in your face about, I finished
Where's
the game.
the salt emote I made?
Yeah, you could go post that a couple times.
Mhm.
I finished it, freaking out. I watched the whole credits just to see if there's anything at the end, and there was that one slide that is my backup for a different argument. And I was like, okay, it makes me feel a little bit better. And then I sat in my chair. It was about, I want to say it was about 11:30 at night. And I was like, no, I can't do this. Immediately started the second game.
Yeah.
You can't. I waited a minute, and I was like, no.
And I think I was arguing with you, like, you have to at least wait till tomorrow. Like, you have to have a bit of the waiting.
No. It was 11:30 at night. You think you were awake?
Oh, that's true. I go to bed early.
Yeah,
I'm a little
like
lady.
we have a 3-hour time difference.
Yes.
So, and she's earlier, so like 11:30 is like 2:30 for her.
Yeah,
or something.
exactly.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
like,
you were right.
yeah, that's good. I did my math correctly. So yeah, I did it, and I had nobody else to tell me to wait. Nick, in fact,
'Cause
was
I
the
would-
one who was like, play the second one, because like as I was in the middle of like the stuff happening at the end of the first one, I saw like, because I was on my laptop playing it with a controller, and so I saw my desktop flash. It said, "You have a gift, Trails in the Sky, second chapter," and it's Nick just saying, "Play it," just in caps.
Hilarious.
I'm like,
oh my god,
Okay.
that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Just play it.
Just play
Enjoy.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I will. Click. Start. And then it opens up with right after.
Mhm.
And it hurts so much. It hurts so much.
But the thing is, now that we're into second chapter, I get to talk about the character I want to talk about.
We do. We finally get to talk about her favorite character,
Yes.
which it's still a little bit about me because we don't meet him right away.
No.
So it's just like, it hurts because you know what's happened. You pray you're kind of in Estelle's boat of just like,
hoping that he's
still there,
or
right?
somewhere.
Like, please, he's still there. And it's like,
or that he's left a clue of where he is.
Right. Like, it's so bad. Okay, so because she falls unconscious and the game ends, right? And this game opens. She is in his bed.
Yeah.
2, his harmonica is right next to her. And 3 is the next, like, completely the next morning. So
It's the next morning. Like, there is no time between the end of first chapter and the beginning of second chapter.
Yeah, and it's like, how can you in your bed, Joshua, with your harmonica right next to her, like?
The thing is, he might have been caught had he put her in her bed, because I think she was sharing a room with someone, wasn't she? So
Yeah, I mean that's fair, but like, that hurts.
yeah,
Like both of those guys, right? Because again, she also talks to Cassius afterwards, which
That's
that
right.
also hurts. Like both of the dudes thought they were doing what was best for her, right?
Mhm.
They did not. They have no idea. they fucked up.
Yep,
So
they
much
do.
so that Estelle, who loves her dad and doesn't really do anything like this, says, "I cannot believe you guys kept us from this. I hate you," and then runs
Yeah.
away. And it's at that I was like, "Oh my god!" And what makes it even worse is that Shara walks up right after, and is just like, "Did this happen?" And Cassius is like, "Yeah," and she's like, "I'm sorry. I know you're my master, but you and Joshua are the
biggest
biggest
dum-dums.
dumb bastards I have ever met in
Yeah,
my
that's
life."
right.
Like, she uses the word bastard, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god. Oh my
No, like both of them fucked up so
god.
badly.
So
and
badly.
that's part of why it hurts so much. It's because, like, had they just been open with the communication, because, like, it's not like Cassius didn't know what was going on with Joshua.
Yeah, Cassius knew, which was what made
Knew.
it hurt to Estelle more, because she even asked, like, did you know this whole time? And he's
But
like,
then again,
yeah.
Estelle doesn't even know about her dad at all. Like,
No.
she's 16 and she knows nothing about her father.
Right. Which, yeah, she definitely learns more along the way, right? But it's just
Yeah.
like, wow, how can you guys mess up that badly? It
Yep.
didn't take any of her feelings, like how she could help, into account. Nothing. Oh man, it hurt so much. It hurt us
And,
still
like, the
so
thing
much,
is
so
for
it hurt me.
that first chunk of the game, it's like you see how broken and almost delusional she is by all of this. Like she refuses to accept the truth for
Yeah.
quite a while.
For quite a while. Like, because she immediately hops onto an airship
Yep, and
to go
heads
back home. And that's where yours truly, Kathleen's favorite character, pops in. And I want to
Yep.
keep in, before we say his name, that his first nameplate was Insensitive Jerk.
Yep.
But
And the thing is,
it's cute.
Okay, about this insensitive jerk. Before I gush about him,
Yeah, here we go.
I'm gonna make you talk a little more.
Okay.
So, I loved him from the very instant he showed up.
I don't understand.
How did you feel?
Don't understand you, Kat. So
I'll get into it.
So like, well, you got into it with me, but like, okay. So I saw him, and I didn't know that this was your favorite character. Like, I already knew the guy's name,
either.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, no. So like, I know your favorite character. I knew at the time your favorite character comes in at second chapter, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so I had that in my head already, but I was like, in the feeling of like Estelle, I really get into the heads of my main characters. Anyway, so like she's freaking out on the path, and he walks up and like says something that's
Insensitive.
insensitive, and she
I
just
don't
breaks
think he
down.
tries to pick her up, right? Or anything.
I think
like, but
I think he does. He's like, "What's a little lady like?"
yeah,
being alone up here.
And then she just
breaks down, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Like, so he tries to comfort her, and he like goes with her to like try and help her, because he knows that Joshua's probably not there, because as she runs into the house being like, "Yeah, he's here," like delusional, and he's like,
yeah, and of
"Oh,
course we
Adios,
should
help
clarify
her."
at this moment that as far as we know, Kevin doesn't know anything about this girl.
Right.
Like he's never met her. He probably has heard of Cassius, right? He probably knows her, but as far as we know, at this point in time, they're strangers.
Right.
All he knows is that this girl just hysterically broke down in front of him, and
I
is
think
saying,
we know
"No,
he's
he'll be
a
at home.
priest."
He'll be at home."
Yeah, I think we know he's a priest, though.
Yeah, we know he's a
He
priest.
tells us.
Yeah, no, that's like one of the first things he says is like, "I'm a priest.
priest.
I'll help God guide you little lamb." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, he makes a joke out of it.
What?
He
Yeah.
makes a joke out of it, as he does.
But that's the thing. Like, as far as the game and us playing the game is concerned, they are strangers. They know nothing about each other.
Right.
All he knows is that she broke down and is now being hysterical and saying, "No, he'll be at home. It's fine. He'll be at home, and it'll all be good, and it'll all go back to normal, and nothing will change."
Right. So
yeah, he's worried, and he follows her.
yes, of course. So like my first impression with him was like, okay, don't be an asshole. Like I was upset at him. It did say insensitive jerk, and then it was like, okay, he helps take care of him. Like, okay, that's nice. So like I didn't have any strong feelings towards him, except he started to do things that was like, you're a priest, kind of like. I'm getting like a Joshua vibe here, right? Where it's like there is more to you than meets the eye. But I didn't care about him. Basically, is the bottom line is I didn't care about this character. I cared about Estelle and Joshua.
Right.
So I was yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
That was basically it. Because he starts to appear throughout the game, because the game is long. Like he just starts to appear in random places, like helping random people, like. Just the fact that he was popping up was like, I can help you guys here, and I'm a priest, or let me help here, and I'm just like, this is suspicious. What
That's
are
right,
you
you were
doing?
suspicious of him the entire time.
The
You were
entire
like,
game. And then he does that. Oh gosh.
okay, but we're not there yet. So, when I first saw him,
Right.
all I knew about was that this is the character who is the protagonist for the third. Past that, I knew nothing about him, and I knew his name, which I'll say in a minute. But for now, insensitive jerk works.
Sensitive jerk.
The reason why I think I connected with him so fast, and I mean like really fast, is that he says this insensitive stuff, but the minute she breaks down, he is like genuinely worried about her. And I was like, oh, okay, so you're just acting like a goofball. but you're actually probably hiding some really dark, serious shit because this is a Falcom game.
I love how you can you're just like, just off of that, you're like, oh, it's this type of character. So you're obviously hiding something dark and serious backward. I identify with you. It's just,
yeah, no, exactly.
I was like, whoa, that's a jump. Okay.
But that's the thing though. Like the second I saw him, I'm like, okay, I get where you're coming from. You're seeing yourself in this girl who, again, as far as we know, they don't know each other. So you're seeing yourself and you don't want her to go down the same path you have obviously gone down. I like you.
Yeah,
that was my connection.
So that's your connection, right? Do you like everyone? There is literally nothing that there's like a little bit of like facial, like the portrait and maybe a little bit of his lines that can suggest something like this. This is Kat completely just going in depth and being like, based on this, I can infer that this is this character, and she was right. Okay,
and I was 100% right. Like
okay, I had the like, you know, this is when I first meet him. Okay, this is interesting. She had the like, based on all this evidence here, I identify with you. What? It's amazing, but like not a lot of people will do it, right?
But the thing is, I get it. I understand a character acting one way to make sure people don't worry, but then also seeing themselves in someone else and not wanting them to do the same thing. I get that. That is what I identify with. I don't have a deep, dark secret like Kevin does. But like...
Oh, Kevin. Okay, yeah.
But like, I get it. I saw what he was doing the second he showed up. And it was like, okay, I want to know more about you because you have done some things or gone through some things. And I want to know what those things are. And I want to give you head pats, even though your spiky hair might like impale my hand.
God damn it. It's like, yeah. But the sum up of my feeling of Kevin is like it took too long for me to like him.
That's the thing that I don't get, right? And you're the one who said I know a lot of people who are like, oh, I didn't like him till pretty much near the end of the game, and all I could think of was like, but he's so great. All of second chapter, he's one of the best healers. He's one of the best
gameplay. That is gameplay. I put him in my party. Okay, I used Kevin, right? Okay, I used Kevin. I didn't. I didn't care about him. Like, so it's like I did, right? But it's because I thought he was fishy as hell. Like I was like, okay, there's something behind this Kevin dude. There is like, I never was like, oh yeah, you're a character in pain that I should protect. I'm like, there's something behind. It might be painful, but I don't know what's your motivation. Like, why are you doing these things? Why are you like this? Like, I just saw suspicion.
I guessed pretty much right away why he was doing things the way he was doing and putting himself in those situations. And I'm like, okay, I get why you're doing this. And I get why you are so hyper protective of Estelle in particular. But I understand that if you're not already kind of looking for that, you might just think he's kind of a goofball who's there maybe as comic relief or just as a wandering priest with a bit of a darker side.
I knew he was hiding something.
Yes.
Which pisses me. So that pisses me off about characters, right? When I know a character is deliberately hiding something, and it's like, it's not like, if it's a character that's hiding something, it's like, oh, you just have to like, it's like maybe a romance game where it's like, oh, you have to get through his hard shell to like, get him to like you or what have you. It was like, okay, that's fine. But when a character's like deliberately hiding something and it's just like, I have all these things. It's just like, are you gonna tell us what you know? No. Kevin, can you like please help like tell why are you like this? No. Kevin, like you obviously know more than you're letting on. Tell it. No. Fuck!
See, I figured that the reason why he doesn't tell you things is because it's classified church knowledge, right?
Yeah, and that's bull, okay? Sorry. I don't like characters who do that, okay?
No, fair enough. I get what you're saying, but I think I sympathized with... I think I understood that he was hiding the thing to protect the sanity of the people around him more than anything else. Because it's not just Estelle and Joshua that he hides shit from. Like, it's his own fucking assistant later. So
Well, okay, so now we're getting. So I'm
Yeah,
doing
we're not there
purely
yet.
on
I'm
the
just-
second chapter because in third chapter he's the main character, so you kind of have to start to like him.
yeah.
It's kind of
I mean,
mandatory.
I already did, but okay.
Yes, I know, Kathleen. We know this. We know you like him.
So much. He's so misunderstood.
Oh my god.
he
Took-
just
it
he
took
tries
too
so
long.
hard to make everybody happy, and
No. He tries so hard to keep his mask in place. Is what he tries to do.
yes, but he does that by trying to protect other people, and so that they don't have to do what he has to do. He's the dog. He doesn't want anyone else to be the dog.
Whoa. Okay. Here we go. That's the end of second chapter. Let's roll it back a little bit. God.
Nobody understands.
No, I understand.
I know.
I just don't share the feelings.
I get that.
Because again, I'm like, Estelle and Joshua, it's the people I care about. Like, this is their story. Even when it was not their story, I was like, no, I'm gonna make it their story. No, I couldn't, but I definitely kept him in my party the whole time. But damn, beginning of third or second.
We're not there yet.
Second is what I meant. Second chapter.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we kind of just like, yeah, we got introduced to Kevin.
Yeah,
And
and
Estelle
the
breaks
thing is,
down.
I figured him out instantly, and I just grew, and I loved the puppy, and
You loved the puppy.
I wanted to make the puppy happy.
You did. I wanted the.
And
figure
every time
puppy
he
out.
left my party, I was angry.
I didn't care. I was upset that I lost a good healer.
Yeah.
That's about it. But then I had
And the
Olivier,
puppy.
so it was all fine.
Yeah, no, Olivia is the other good healer, so.
Olivier.
Poor Chloe. I wanted to use Chloe. I did,
It's-
but you can't take a hit.
You can't take a hit, and you literally are only built around healing.
Yeah.
I need you to be more. You need to be dual.
Exactly, because like Kevin can heal and he can give people CP and like he's so good.
He is a good character to use in your party. I will give you this one. I agree. But you go throughout the game. Oh God,
And
it's bouncing more back towards Estella Joshua because we're in second chapter, of course.
Yeah.
And Kevin pops up every now and then he's in the game for like the last
Half, I would
half.
say.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like as before the reuniting bit, I have to say the bit on top of the
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. Oh, because it has Estella and Kevin, right? With
yeah.
the letters. Oh God, that
Yes.
hurt my soul.
I was so upset at that point.
I was so
I just
mad.
because again it's preying on her delusion and just seeing Kevin be like so annoyed and pissed at himself and her for getting
For
in this
falling for it.
situation. Yeah, for falling for it, for both of them falling for it, for him falling for it for a different reason and falling for it because of Joshua. And it's like just seeing him so upset, and I just wanted to give them hugs. And the entire time when she's going up there, I'm like, no, don't
Yeah.
make me bring her up there.
You know
I
what's
don't
funny?
want to."
I believed it
What?
too.
Oh, did you?
I
I
did.
didn't. I knew it was a trap.
I saw it, and like she was giving me these reasons. Like again, I can't stress how much I can get into the head of my main characters. Like
Yeah.
things that fool them can sometimes fool me, right? And then you look
Right.
back and you're like, I'm such a fucking idiot, right? But it's just like she was super excited, and she was like, "This is his handwriting. Like, there's a chance." I'm like, "Yes, of course, this makes sense." Like, oh my God, this could happen. Like, cause I really wanted to meet Joshua again.
No,
So-
and I'm like, no, it's a trap. Don't go. Come on, Estelle. You have to be smart enough to know that this is a trap.
Yeah.
It's a trap.
It's a
Please don't
trap.
go.
So like she goes up there, like I was like, yes, this could happen, and then I see Kevin, and I'm like, fuck, it's a trap. Like the moment
Yeah,
I
no,
see it, she's not
instantly.
alone. I'm like, oh no, I fell for it too. Oh God. Yeah. Oh, that part is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's so much more heartbreaking when you as the player fell for it as well, because I'm like,
It was
shit.
pretty heartbreaking even knowing it was a trap and just walking up there and seeing Kevin and being like, no.
Oh, God.
Because that's when they get attacked by the archaisms, right?
Yep.
Like,
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And then the whole shit goes down. You get back, and like things are happening, and then
and I think Kevin tells her,
Ouroboros
like,
member that you didn't think was an
Yeah.
Ouroboros member shows up, and I'm like, wait a second, what do you mean? Oh my God, the second chapter of this game is just,
It's intense, man.
Oh my god, it's ups and downs. Because again,
It's like so much more intense than first chapter.
so much. Because like all the whole time, I'm like, gotta get to Joshua, gotta find Joshua, I gotta get Joshua back. And it's like, okay, go to a province, solve. Go to a province, solve a problem, get a clue. Go to a province, go to a province, solve a problem, get a clue. But like these problems are a lot worse.
Yeah. Do you know what's
And-
funny though?
What?
So there's a bit in the game, I don't remember how far in, but it's not that far in where you do get to play as Joshua.
Yes,
Specifically.
you do. And that's what
And-
freaks. Cause, okay, I know exactly what you're gonna say. Ready?
Okay, well, what am I gonna say then? I'm curious.
Okay. Then okay, just real quick. I have a feeling what you're gonna say is that you play as Joshua to do a certain thing, and you open the menu and you notice what level they are,
Yes.
and then you say, "Shit, I'm not getting Joshua back until we're near that level."
Yep. No, in my case it was okay. So that's one. That was right.
You cut out. Say again.
Oh, sorry. So I saw that and I was like, yes. That's when I'll get Joshua back, and I was right.
Yep. Got you. I knew what you were gonna say.
There you did.
Oh.
See, I'm transparent too.
No, you're not.
Transparent as Kevin is at the
Ugh.
start of the.
Hey, so
second
maybe
chapter.
it's Kevin. What? Never mind. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I didn't put that together because you play as him like twice, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So the first time I was like, Joshua, and then I was freaking out because I was like, you have the murder eyes. No, don't have the murder eyes. Joshua, come back to me. But then you play as him, and he's super powerful, and you're like, Jesus Christ,
Oh
man.
yeah.
And then you play as him the second time later in the game, and then that's when I realized, oh, yeah, I'm probably getting him when I'm around that level, huh? And then
Mhm.
you go back, and I'm like, shit, I am like 15 levels away. Right? But yeah, like there's times where you play as Joshua and you get some backstory to him, and I really don't like Josette.
Yeah, me neither. I never warmed up to her. I
Never.
don't hate her, but I never warmed up to her, and I felt like her character isn't necessary to the entire plot. Like it is, but I wanted to like her more than I did, and I never did.
Again, I was in a
She just
mindset,
feels like
so I was like, you stay away from him.
Yeah, no, that's what
Damn
I
it.
felt. I felt like she was a force to try and test Joshua and Estelle's love for each other, and it's like we already had that.
We had that the full first game.
Her name was Chloe.
That too, yeah. Man, I love, yeah, cause man, Jesus Christ, dude, there's so many like heart like touching moments, cause like you get the Joshua bits, and then you go back to Estelle, and she's trying to do things, and she's traveling with like a lot of like everyone basically,
Yeah.
and you get to choose your party a lot. And there's
Yeah, a lot
time-
more than in the first game.
Yeah,
because
and
you
then-
don't get to choose it at all in the first game till the end.
Yeah, and there's a time where like I don't think it was in the I don't think it was. I think the first chapter is when Chloe admits that she likes Joshua, right?
I believe so. At the
Yeah.
well, no, I think we as the audience know. I don't think Estelle knows till second chapter.
Okay, because
they
I know
talk
at one
about it
point.
when they reunite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chloe like fully admits and says, "Oh yeah, well I like him," and she's like, "Oh well, yeah, I guess."
Well, because she does something like this. She says, "I did like Joshua, but remember when that mayor had you at gunpoint, and the way Joshua looked,
Yeah.
I knew I had no chance after that." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Damn," because later it goes back to like, because Estelle gets a picture of Joshua right after he helps Josette.
That's right.
And then she doesn't know how to deal with it because she starts talking to people. This is you as the player. You don't have to talk to everyone. Actually, no, you do have to talk to everyone in order
believe
to
you
move
do.
forward. But like you're talking to people, and she doesn't tell anyone she has this photo. She's just trying to deal with it on herself with herself. But like talking to Chloe, she's like, "So Chloe, like you know how you like Joshua?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, how would you feel if I told you that? Remember the eyes Joshua had when I got threatened?" She's like, "Yes." How would you feel if I told you he had those eyes right now? And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, she's just trying so hard to like figure it out and get him
Yeah.
back to yeah.
Well, because seeing him like that is heartbreaking, like both for her and us.
Yes.
Like,
Very much so. I was like,
Yeah.
no, Joshua, please stop looking like that. So many fun, yeah. Oh man, like even because again, like there's also the dream sequence.
oh my God,
Oh,
yeah,
the
you're right.
dream
That is in
sequence.
second chapter.
Because again, everything is like, go solve a problem, go like, to
Yeah,
the next area,
there are
solve a problem.
these weird things. There's a ghost that's showing up. There's a bell that's putting people to sleep, and that's the one we're going to talk about right now.
Yes, right now.
But yeah, and they're all being done by this odd device that we're investigating.
And you finally.
And yeah, so
well, you
when-
confront the person. Right?
yeah, when they're about to confront the person, she manages to put them to sleep, and we get this dream sequence of Estelle where things are there's one major difference in this dream
There's
than
two,
in reality.
actually.
Two? Well, okay, if you're counting the one character not being there.
Yes.
There's the difference of the character being there.
Yeah. Were you gonna say it?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can.
Because it's like, so she's in her childhood, and Cassius is there. Her mom is there, who
Had
she
died in the
had
war.
died in the war, but Joshua isn't there.
Yeah.
And Estelle does not like. It's like weird because she's like, "Mama, yay!" Like she's excited, and she completely doesn't like. She forgets about Joshua, basically.
Yeah. And then as she's going through the dream, like she'll go into his room, which is just a storage room at this point because
Yeah.
it's not a bedroom for a little boy.
Yeah, she's like, "Man,
Um,
isn't this dirty? I should ask Dad to clean it or something like that." And it's like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
Like you as the player, are just like, Estelle, remember.
And then she finds the harmonica at one point.
And she's like, I don't like. Even with that, right? She finds it, and you're like, this has to be it, right? And she just like looks at it. She's like, huh, I can't play this. And you're like, no, Estelle, why? And then it like, I don't know how you eventually go to the balcony, but it's like you try to play it, and then
Yeah.
suddenly she's like, I remember this certain song, and then she tries to play it.
And like it's already been well established that she cannot play this goddamn harmonica to save her life. Like
Yeah.
in first chapter she tries and it's like, no, it's bad.
No,
Don't
it's bad.
don't even bother.
Yeah.
But no, she tries to play it in second chapter, and at first she doesn't get it, but eventually it starts all coming together.
And she actually starts playing it, and then it's like she's playing it, and you're like, you don't know if she's remembered, like she's just playing the song, and then she's like, Joshua, I remembered you, and I'm like,
No.
yes, I was so happy. Sorry, and then her like mom, her dream sequence mom comes in and like gives her advice
Mhm.
for it, and I'm like, oh, game, like how many more times can you like punch me in the heart, like.
Oh, so many more.
Oh, so many more. But it's just so beautiful, that whole sequence. And she's like, Mom, I'd like to stay here with you and like remember you like this, but I have to go get Joshua back. And she's like, no, I understand that. And when you meet him, tell him I said hi and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God. And then she walks out the door and awakens. And Cher's the only one who's awake. And she's like, Estelle, you woke yourself up? And she's like, yeah, I just had to remember someone. And like you could tell that that's what it was about. Like Sharon kind of understood what was happening.
Yeah.
And then Estelle just turns around and is just like, hey, guys,
Get your asses
get
up.
your asses up. We gotta do shit. And
Because
they
the other
wake up.
party members at that time are Olivier.
Well, it depends on who you have with you.
Oh, true, right. 'cause
I had
at that-
Olivier
You had-
and... Did I?
and-
Can you have Kevin at that point?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, because that would be bad.
Oh, I can't even imagine the dream Kevin went.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
you're welcome for that image in your head. Anyway, I think I broke Cat. But yeah, you get the other people, and she just turns, like, Shara has been trying to wake you guys, right? Like, you infer
Yeah.
that. And Estelle just turns around, doesn't even touch them, and says, guys, wake up, we got shit to do. And they wake up. And Shara's like, wait,
Mhm.
what? And then they confront the thing, and they solve it. But man, that dream sequence is like, oh, that's a hit to the gut.
And there's even like hints at what the other characters dreamed about. At least Olivier. I don't think necessarily the fourth party member, but
No,
I know.
I think all of them, because I remember, I think I had Agate in my party, and he said
yeah, that's what I
something
want to say too.
about his past, and I was like,
Aw.
oh, yeah.
And yeah.
Aw.
But anyways, so the dream sequence is good. And going back to Kevin just for a second, even though he's not in this part,
Mhm.
I think the other reason I really attached to Kevin is because Kevin saw how much Estelle was like attaching herself mentally to this one person. Like the actions of Joshua, the actions or inactions of Joshua could make or break Estelle, and he really didn't like seeing her so dependent on someone because, you know, he saw that in himself.
Yeah.
And he
Of
knows
course.
it ends up in a bad space, and I don't think he wanted her to carry that stigma.
Again, this is all inferred before the third game.
Look,
God.
when I attach to a character, I overanalyze the shit out of them. I know it's probably not accurate. I love when it is accurate, and I'm not in pain because of my accuracy. But it's just like, yeah, no, I enjoy doing that. I enjoy trying to like figure out how their brain works, even though they're not real. Like,
Yeah, no, I do that with other characters.
but yeah, I just happened to really latch on to Kevin and be like, I will extrapolate all this information.
Oh boy, did you.
We're not even gonna get into fan theories today.
Christ, if we did, like, we're not even at the third game yet.
No, we'll get there
Yeah,
because we have to, because we're talking about Kevin.
we're talking about Kevin, so we kind of have to. It's a force at this point. But yeah, holy crap, we're not even at the end of the second chapter.
We'll
Ah!
get there. So, anyways, we get to the point where they do reunite.
Jesus
And-
Christ, did that part hurt me? Because like,
yeah,
because they reunite in a situation where basically Estelle is deep in enemy territory, and you can either kick their asses or not. I ended up not because I did not think we could, so I just
wait, you can not kick their ass? That's an
Yeah.
option?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just went and kicked all sorts of ass.
Again, I was also playing on hard, and so they were
Okay,
doing
fair
a
enough.
decent amount of damage to me, and I think I built Estelle a certain way that like I needed party members with me. So I was like,
Hmm.
okay, well, I didn't want to use any items because I'm an item whore. So I was like, just beat me and we'll continue the story. So they did.
I honestly didn't know that was an option.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, dude. Like, so just real quick, she gets beaten down, and and certain characters like, haha, I beat you. And she's just like, no, she's like has the struggle face of like, no, you didn't, and she tries to, she stands back up, but hesitantly, and then that's
Mhm.
when Joshua comes in,
Yeah.
right? But like, someone comes in and he's like, sorry, I'm late, and I'm like, they're on a whole Jaeger uniform, and I'm like, okay, and then they pull out the dual blades. I'm like, ah! That's probably my exact reaction. Was that scream? Probably exactly. Yeah, Joshua comes in and saves her, and it's like, you knew it was coming, but suddenly it's here, and you're like, oh. I was kind of taken aback. I was like, oh god. But he still has the eyes, and that's what freaked me out. I was like, no. Stop.
Yeah, at that part I was like, okay, but you're gonna join my party, right?
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
but you're gonna stay around this time, right?
Right?
Like that's all I cared about. I was
Of
like,
course.
I don't care if you still have the murder eyes. I need you back in my party because you were my favorite character to play.
Yeah, right? I cared more about the murder eyes, honestly. But I was like, Joshua, you're back to normal. Like, come on. So, like, they go through this whole, like, escape sequence, and, like, Estelle's like, so Joshua, yeah. And he's like, hold on, we'll talk later. We got to get out. Like, he's super, like, logical right now. He's in his I'm infiltrating mode. And you beat things.
Even though you can tell he's
kind of
thrown
fighting.
off
Yeah. He's like,
by the fact that she's there.
yeah,
like,
he does not want her to be there.
he does not want her to be there, and he had to speed up his plan because she is there. So you can tell he's not happy with the situation he's been put in.
Right. And but this gets brought up later, so I'll wait till then.
Mhm.
But yeah, they find a way out, and she's like, she's like, how are we gonna get out? And he's like, well, I've already got like a thing ready to go, and like he has like all this planned, and it's like, well, that's Joshua. Yes,
Always thinking ahead.
of course. And they escape, and they get chased, and
And they meet the character I dislike
Yeah.
the most probably in the entire series, next to the person I think is the Grandmaster, who I will not be getting into anytime soon.
oh dear.
Um,
Oh dear. Yeah. They escape, but they get chased. But then they get helped, and they escape. And yeah, as they're flying, I think actually it's after they land though.
Yeah.
No. As they're flying, Joshua goes into his like past more
yeah,
about how he felt during it,
yeah.
and I'm like, oh, Joshua, stop.
Because that's how we find out about the history behind the harmonica.
Yes.
And that makes her even more mad about what he did.
Dude, man, I think that last thing, she's like, and I have my way to get you back. Thank you, Joshua.
Yep.
Man, Estelle, you so good. But yeah, and then he does the whole thing of like, see, that time in my life, like it felt like it happened to someone else, and that's how I feel about my time with you, right? He tries to pull the like, I've moved on card, and I'm like, bull fucking shit.
Yeah,
But-
if you had moved on, you would have left me to be whatever with her. Because Ouroboros wasn't going to
kill
hurt her.
No.
That was never the plan. They were either going to convert her or keep her as a prisoner. They were never going to kill her because she's too important as Cassius's daughter, and too important as Joshua's potential love interest, right? So, or she was never in danger. Yeah, and he has to know that.
He freaked out. That's how she knows, right? So
and he also knows that a certain character whose name I will not say has the ability to warp the mind. So
right. Yes. So he didn't want. Yeah, this makes sense. I didn't even think about that. That would be terrifying. Holy shit.
So
wow.
She was never in physical danger, but she was in mental danger.
She was in mental danger. Yeah. God, you just put a whole scenario in my head that's terrifying. Anyway, they finally land, and Joshua's like, and bye. And she's like, Joshua.
Lol, no.
Lol, no. Hold up. And she gives this amazing speech.
Oh my God. Like, even just seeing that speech out of context makes me cry.
Yeah. It's like, she puts out her argument, and then he's like, well, you're wrong. And then she's like, nope, counter argument. And he's like, well, I think you're wrong about that too. And she's like, nope, other counter argument. And he's like, why do I feel this way? And she's like, Joshua, buddy, I love you no matter what. Like, you can have this life. Just let yourself, like, forgive yourself. And it's like, oh, Estelle, oh my God, you are so good. And then the kicker was he cries, and apparently he wasn't able to cry before.
Yeah.
Ever since backstory. And then he's like, what the fuck? And then she's like, it's okay. And then she hugs him for a while, and I'm like, ah!
And that hug from behind, oh my God.
Has anyone drawn that yet?
Oh yeah, lots of people.
Good.
But I mean, I
would hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But oh my God, that is like there's one moment that's like, I don't know if it's better, but it also hits really hard.
See, in regards to that moment, I just like when, and I don't think it happens then, because I don't think Kevin is in the party at this point. Or maybe he is, because it's like the second Kevin and Joshua meet.
No, he's in the party at that point, because Kevin's in the room when she gets abducted. That's right.
Because I know the first thing out of his mouth is, if you do this shit again, I'm taking her from you.
Yeah, it is.
I'm like, oh boy.
He says it in a very like jokey way though, like not jokey, like he means it, right? But he says it.
Take it as a joke.
No, because he's like, hey buddy, like you leave your girlfriend in the dirt again, like that's a cue for other males to take her. You know what I mean? That's how he says it, right? So it's like that can be taken as a. Like, because he kind of laughs and says, haha, I'll keep it in mind. But I
took it as an extreme,
of course you did!
I'm not going to let you put her through this shit again, you asshole. That's how I took it.
Of course you did. I obviously didn't, because I didn't. Now I probably would, because I played the third, and I didn't uber look into Kevin in the second chapter. Sorry. Anyway.
Look, I just love Kevin so much.
You really do. Yeah, man, Kevin, dude. But yeah, damn, holy shit, that whole thing. And then she asks for a redo kiss. And he's like,
one without the sedative this time.
Basically. She's like, well, you kind of messed it up. And he's like, I guess I do owe you that, huh? And then they kiss. I'm like, oh, yes. And then Josette comes and ruins it. But, you know, it's fine. Anyway, you get Joshua back, and holy crap, man, that was a ride. You get Joshua back, like, I swear to God, 50 hours into the game, and the game is like 70.
Oh, I wanted to say 40 hours and 60.
Maybe it's 40.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, I beat it faster than you, because I wasn't playing on hard, so.
I thought, okay, yeah. So, like, I thought I got him, like, 40 hours in.
Oh, okay,
than, like, 50, and then the game's 70, but yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, too. I'd say it's about 40 hours till you get Joshua. And then, like, and to be fair, they could have done one more thing and ended the game there, and Falcom's like, well, no. Why would we end there when we can have a whole other dungeon?
Why end there when we can have this whole other freaking huge arc?
Yeah.
Because you have to do like 4 other dungeons, and that leads into another big
that's
thing.
The thing. You lose one other character for a chunk of time. I was like, I just
got
Joshua back. You
Oh my
can't
God.
take him away from me too.
Right? And that this is like more spoiling like the plot because this does not really have to do with our characters. So we're not
No.
gonna really go into it. But like a whole other plot stuff happens. Man, that character is also really good.
Yeah, I was so worried when they left. I was like, no, you can't. Seriously, no, don't.
See, I already knew it was gonna happen because again, I played
Well, yeah,
Cold
you
Steel
had the
first,
context of
so
of
I knew
Cold
who he
Steel.
was.
Because that's the thing. Like when Nick was starting to play Cold Steel, I'm like, no, you have to play Sky first because there's a really great reveal in Sky that's ruined if you play Cold Steel first. And he's like, no, I'll play Cold Steel. And then he's like, oh, well, I knew that was coming. It's like, yeah, because you play Cold Steel.
Yeah,
I was so mad.
it's okay. It was
So
fine.
good.
It was silly.
You can play the game in any orders. It's just it is a really great reveal when you don't think it's coming.
No, I'm not gonna make that joke. Anyway,
Oh, come on.
I didn't because I've already played it twice in episodes. So I'll do it when I talk about another character
Okay.
further on. But anyway, yeah. So like basically the final dungeon unlocks.
And oh my god, this dungeon is like a whole continent in itself.
It
Like
is.
it's huge, and you have to go back and forth and solve a riddle, kind of, sort of, not really. And
I kind of
Oh my-
freaked out, right? Because like, well, before you even like explore it, your ship crash lands on him.
yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's a thing going on that makes certain technology just stop working,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh god,
Right. Well,
how are we gonna do this?
It was 'cause you first crash land on it, and I freaked out quickly because like I thought because Estelle gets knocked unconscious and Joshua
Yeah.
wakes her up, right? So I thought like Joshua was gonna freak out with that, but he didn't. But then right
Mhm.
after that, Joshua's like, "Hey, Kevin, I need help with something," and then hides it, and I'm like, "What the fuck just happened? What just
That's
happened?"
right.
I was so put on edge. I was like, "What did you guys just do?"
Yeah, no, at that point I was like, what would they even talk about? Because we know Kevin is a priest, but that's
But more.
and
At this point, you know he's more.
yeah, we know he's a Grail's Ritter, but we don't know what level of Grail's Ritter he is at
People
this
think
point.
he's a squire.
Yeah, that's it. They just think he's there, he does the dirty work, but he's not like
Anything
high up
and
there.
special, right?
yeah,
So,
no,
yeah,
he's
so-
just a scrub.
It was that, and then like Estelle does a thing of like, "Joshua, you look really tired." And he's like, "No, I'm fine." I'm like, okay. The fact that Estelle said that, I was like, "Shit, what
Yeah.
happened? What happened?" And you kind of forget about it,
Yeah.
but I didn't really. I kind of like you kind of forget. I kind of forgot
It's
about
just
it, but
in
I
the
was
back
like,
of your head, 'cause
"Nah."
that dungeon is like 20 hours long, I
It's
swear to
really
God.
long. You have to do so many things.
And you're right. It is mostly because you go around dungeon. Like I don't actually think you have to do those dungeons. Or no, you
I was
do.
talking
because
about the towers.
that's what I mean.
You have to do those, yeah,
Yeah, no, I realized that after I
because that's how
don't
you
have to do it in the
confront other
first half of
people.
the game, but you do have to do it in the second half of the game.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, yeah, you get there and you get more party members and save certain
Oh my god, yeah,
people, and-
like I couldn't get over how many party members you got at the end of second chapter
couldn't
because at that
believe it.
point I'm like, I want this guy in my party. He's so strong. Why won't he fit in my party?
Yeah, you got him. Yeah, I got him and I was like, I don't really care. Bye.
I used him for a bit. Just because I have a tendency to be underleveled because I don't grind. So
Oh,
he was
Kathleen.
stronger than my current party. But then the second everybody got up to him that I used, it was like, okay, I will swap you out for Olivier.
My party was definitely Estelle, Joshua, Kevin, and Olivier
Yeah, that was my party as
the
well.
whole way. But yeah.
Olivier's the best at arts, so that makes him really, really good for anything.
Whoa,
And
now you're
then-
talking to the person who made their whole party mages in the first chapter.
I don't even know how you did that. Like, and you're not the only person I know. No, Estelle and Joshua are the brawlers, and then a healer and a mage.
No. It's fine. Everyone can be mages, and it all works out. But I don't know if there's anything of value to talk about in the actual dungeon. It's more other
no.
character stuff.
Yeah, because
I know,
it focuses on Chloe a bit. And
I know
and-
Estelle confronts other Ouroboros member.
Yes.
And Joshua.
And that's cute.
Well, Josh has to
Yeah.
protect her from them
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
because
yeah.
that happens. Yeah, and so I was like, oh god damn it! Like I wanted it, but nope, it's not yet. But yeah, it was cute. And then you get to like the top of the tower, and oh my god,
Yeah.
Jesus. Because so much shit goes down. Joshua
yeah.
confronts his past more. Playing that best song
and
ever.
he has to deal with fighting his conditioning, essentially. Like,
Yeah. Well,
like
he does.
puts the party in a life or death situation, and oh my god, when he left at that point, I'm so mad. It's like, you can't do this to me at the fucking end of the game.
When that happened, dude, like, so he confronts him, he wins, and it's great, and I'm like, yay, happy times, and then other character shows up, and it's like, ha ha, you ruined the experiment, click, and I'm like, there's no way in hell you just did that! Like, God, why? I saw it coming. I want to say, I'm pretty sure I saw it coming, right? I knew that was probably going to happen, and Estelle was going to have to save him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was so upset.
I was mad too, mostly because it's like, no, we went so far, and I knew it was going to happen, but I don't want it to happen. I just want them to be happy. Can't they be happy?
Right? Yeah. And it's just like, and other character who Joshua just beat was like, Estelle, you're the only person who can reach him right now. And I'm like, yeah, that's certainly true. And then I was like, we gotta go. And holy crap, Joshua kicking the shit out of Estelle really hurt me.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And
it was hard to watch too, because it's like, it's not done in a battle sequence, right?
No, it is. You start out.
You start out at right.
You start out and you're fighting. I'm like, I don't really want to hurt Joshua, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll try and S-craft him. So I was like, okay, start building up CP, right? And it's like right off the bat, S-craft, and I'm like,
yeah,
okay, and it just instantly knocks you out, and I'm like, what? Joshua, how can you do that to Estelle? I was like, no, and like, you can't really talk about this next bit without spoiling, like, not the character who gives him the order, right? But, like, what the order was. Mm-hmm. So, like, Estelle, Joshua's obviously under mind control if it isn't clear enough. And then the dude's like, go ahead, you know what I'm gonna do, Estelle? I'm gonna make him kill you, and then I'm gonna awaken him, and he's gonna see what he did with his own hands, and I'm like,
and that'll break him even more.
And that'll break him anymore, and I can remake him anew, and I'm like, I was like, not tearing. I was like enraged, in shock. I couldn't believe that this was what was gonna happen. Like, you knew it couldn't have happened, right? But you're like, that this is even a possibility. Why? And Estelle does like I'm sorry, I couldn't keep my promise, but like, don't get broken by this. This wasn't your fault. Like, she's still trying to save him, even though she thinks she's gonna die. And then Joshua's like, well, you know, if you did die, I don't think I would be able to not run away from reality. And it's like, what? And then he attacks the dude. And you're like,
yay!
Yay! And then the best song plays again.
Yeah.
And then there's like 10 minutes of explaining, oh yeah, you know what Kevin did? He helped me break my mind control. Cool.
Yep.
And I'm like,
because Joshua is an intelligence officer, essentially, and he knows who Kevin is.
Yeah. Well, also, he got a letter from Cassius. He got a letter from Cassius who pointed him in the right direction. So I'm sure with that he inferred, okay.
Yeah, that Kevin is far more than he appears to be.
Yeah.
And then as everybody's escaping, they get split up, right?
Oh, God.
And a couple of things happen.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to talk about the thing that happens with Kevin without spoiling it.
Wait, you're not going to talk about the thing with Kevin?
No,
that's the thing.
I'm going to.
Oh, okay, because that's the thing that literally pissed me
it.
off the most. Anyway.
Okay, so I'll explain what it is, and then you explain why it pissed you off, because I'm curious.
Okay.
Kevin gets separated from everybody. Like, the group essentially splits in three. Most of the party, Kevin, and then Estelle and Joshua all go.
Well, I will say that Kevin rejoins the rest of the party as they're escaping.
After he does his thing.
Yes. Which you're going to explain right now.
But first, Kevin as a Grails Ritter, has a mission to take out a certain character who's, again, I won't name, you can't make me, and test out a new weapon. And the way he does it, when Kevin gets the murder eyes.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I was like, oh no, I was right all along.
Yeah, god damn it.
Because, like, when I overanalyze characters, I think I'm like, nah, there's no way this is right. It's just me being a goof, and there's just no way that it's right. But when he gets the murder eyes and he points his crossbow at the character,
At Redacted.
I was like, well, okay, I mean, getting shot by a crossbow, that would hurt. and then that character disintegrates, and it's like, holy shit! Oh my god, you were just carrying something that disintegrates people into salt? What?
Yeah. Also, if you even touch it, it.
Yeah, no, and he's like, he's very clear about that. And I think knows about this. Or fuck,
Whoa! I can.
you're
do
gonna
it,
have to
don't worry.
bleep that.
1 second. Where are we? We are an hour and 24. Keep that in mind. That's the time. We haven't even gotten to the third.
I won't have to
chapter.
talk to the third a lot. Like, there's
Okay.
not a lot to say. But fuck, I was doing so
You
well.
were doing so well, and I was like, well, at least you said and not other character. Anyway,
Yeah, no, but
I have to bleep that too.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna keep this in because it's funny. Sorry, guys. We were
God.
doing so well, and look what we did.
I'm a
God,
bad
we
person.
messed up. Anyway, moving on.
So the character in question
God
knows about the salt pail. And
He
so
was-
he
he was. This doesn't give away his character, but apparently he was orphaned by the salt pail.
yeah. Yeah, that's right. That just makes it even more cruel.
Yeah.
Not that that character doesn't deserve
He
all
doesn't
the
deserve
cruelness
any
in
of
the
that,
world.
but okay.
But yeah. So Kevin does the thing, and he delivers a line about being a dog. Like, at least Joshua has the choice to escape from his fate, whereas Kevin doesn't.
Right. Well, Kevin said something like, "Wow, Joshua, I envy you that you were able to escape this."
Yeah, exactly, because some of us can't. And it's like, oh my god, I love you. I just want to play your game now. And at that point, the third wasn't announced. So, and we were pretty much outright told we were never gonna get it. And yeah, just so mad. Like, I was so mad that we weren't getting the third, because like I didn't want to be that Falcon fan. I hate those Falcon fans who are like, oh, Exene, when are you gonna bring over Sen 3? Because
Sen 3
you know
when?
what?
Sen
Yeah,
3 when?
we're gonna get it one day. Just shut up, okay? Let them localize other games. They aren't an XC, or they aren't a Falcom only localized. Chill, and if you don't get it, learn Japanese. Honestly, like, stop bitching.
Great.
So yeah, I
So
didn't
Sen
want to
3
be
when?
that. Maddie.
I'm kidding. I already got the
I know.
dancing games. I'm okay.
Yeah, you're good. But yeah, so when that happens at the end of the game, and then you get like this absolutely touching moment of Estelle and Joshua nearly dying.
Oh my god.
I was just like, okay, but Trails in the Sky, the third one.
I can't believe that's what you thought. I was.
It was
literally-
I was like, I love Estelle and Joshua. They are my some of my favorite pro tags from the entire series. But I was just so enamored with Kevin, and I'm like, I need to know more about him, because like that was proving a lot of my earlier theorizing right, and I like being right in this case. So please, Chloe.
Kitty in the
Yeah.
background. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there after that Kevin reveal being ticked off at Kevin. Extremely
And
ticked
so
off.
why were you mad? I don't get it.
I don't like two-faced characters.
But he wasn't being two-faced.
Yes,
he
he
had a
was!
mission. He had to keep it secret.
I-
He couldn't tell anyone, because if that character figured it out, he wouldn't be able to get close to him. And if he couldn't get close to him, he couldn't shoot him with the salt pail.
So that's fine. That's fine and all, right? Right? That part is great. I don't care about him hiding the fact that he was a high rank Grail Strider. I care about the fact that who he really isn't this happy, let me make this joke because I'm the comic relief. No, his real character is what you said, right? He doesn't like he hates himself on the inside. He's a dog. He is doing all this other things, and he really doesn't show any mercy. He didn't even care, as you see later, really, about the fact that Estelle got captured, okay? So,
no,
like...
but he does care. I don't buy
No.
for a second that he
No.
doesn't care. No. I'm gonna talk.
Okay, no, okay. Wait a second, before you talk, maybe he does care, right? But he did it anyway, and that hurts me.
He had to do it. He had to put her in a situation because he couldn't compromise his own mission. But I don't buy for a second that he didn't care that she was hurt. He cared a lot about the fact that she was kidnapped. Like, I just, no. Kevin isn't that type of guy. He doesn't mind putting himself in life or death situations, but he refuses to do it to others. And I think that is true for Estelle as well.
I only say that because in the third, when Joshua confronts him about it, he has, like, the murder eyes on. He's like,
Yeah, but again, that's because it was his mission.
I don't care! I hate two-faced people.
But he's not being two-faced. He's doing it because he's trying to show a certain type of character to Joshua. He wants to intimidate Joshua. He wants to make sure Joshua never pulls this shit again. And to do that, he has to be cold.
You know what? Okay. Like, I don't hate Kevin anymore because I played the fucking third.
Yeah.
But in the second, he took what I knew about him, and I already thought he was fishy, and was like, ha, I don't even really care about everyone. Die. I was just using them to get close to you. Ha ha ha. Boom. That's what I saw. I don't care about this inferring, oh, this is how he actually felt on the inside. No. I get it. Maybe that is what he felt on the inside. But that's what I saw, and that's why I was ticked off in that moment.
See, I just find it such a, like, character redeeming moment, because he finally shows, like, himself without the act, but it shows how much pain he's been hiding for the rest of the game.
You're so biased.
I know, but I guess I can't help it.
You can't.
Because people just see Kevin and they see this goofball who has murder eyes at the end, and it's like, but he's so much more than that. And even
it takes a whole other game to explain it.
But the thing is, a lot of people still don't see him, and I'm like, but how can?
So anyway, Joshua and Estelle have this really great moment at the end.
Yep.
And then they're a couple. And then they're traveling Erebonia or the world or what have you, because apparently. Well,
because they want to help another character who they think they can help save, and so that takes them all over the place.
But oh my god, that kiss scene is amazing. I'm not gonna get in depth, but they kiss and they're about to die, and then they don't, but it's adorable. And holy shit, the second chapter is a great game. Okay, the third, huh?
Yeah, we won't talk about this long because overall the third doesn't have a lot of like story. Like each chapter kind of helps you infer a little bit more about
it's a lot of world
all
building.
The characters.
Building about the whole everyone in general. But
I would argue that the third has more world building than the first chapter.
I mean,
and I'm only saying that because in this case I am biased. I do have a theory about something happening. Sen, I will not talk about that today. I do not have time to talk about that today.
No, you don't. Not at all.
But like, it's kind of the whole basis of my argument of things. So yeah, the third, in my opinion, is one of the most important games. It's also one of the most different games because you're not traveling the world in the same way. It's a completely different scenario.
I walked in, I was all like, oh, this is interesting. And then you're like, oh, wait, I'm going to be here the whole game, aren't I?
Yeah, that surprised me because I was like, oh, I knew nothing about the third going in other than Kevin and Reese were the main characters. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Neither was I.
But as you go, you get more characters.
You do. Well, you get... Yeah, you do. You're right. And you get more backstory on various characters. I obviously still only really care... Not only really. Like, I cared about everyone. But the forefront, even though it was Kevin's game, I was still like, Joshua and Estelle? And Estelle. I am biased towards them. Sorry, guys.
No, and I get that.
But... yeah, like, the beginning, I was like, Kevin, what do you... like, because the beginning is like a prologue, not even in the main where you actually play the game. And I'm like, this is interesting. And you kind of get see what he does. And I'm like, okay, well, cool. Pretty cool.
Well,
Kevin.
yeah, this is the first time you're seeing him on a mission. Because at this point, his cover's been blown. He can no longer pretend to be a squire. Like, it is obvious to anyone who has ever heard about him is that he killed the dude and he is not a squire.
Yeah.
So we're seeing him in an actual mission, and I don't know why you'd send a character with green hair and a light green swoop into an undercover mission. But
he slicked it back and wore a mask. That was good enough, right?
Yep, sure.
He also
green
hit
hair,
on a girl.
not that common. Yes. Well, actually, no. I recently had to replay that bit because of cough, scene, cough. And yeah, she hits on him first.
Yeah, but he continues anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Kevin, God. But so. It's interesting because you see Reese come in and you suddenly realize that they know each other. And you're like, well, what's behind this?
Do they know each other, but he acts completely different to Reese than he ever did to any of the other characters. He was far more laughing and open on the surface with the other characters, whereas Reese, he's cold and like, no, I really don't want to be around you. I want to have you on this mission. I don't want you to be my help. Like, I want you to go away now. Bye.
Though at times when, like, she acts more lenient, he acts more like, for example, when her
Yeah.
stomach growls and he's like, "Ha, that's what I remember about you." Ha, ha, ha,
Yeah,
ha.
exactly. Because
Like-
she's like pretending to be all cool and but she's like constantly hungry.
Yeah.
Reese is just amazing. I love her for different reasons. Like I just, she's great.
She was a fun character. But
And I'm sad she doesn't get like she gets even less love than Kevin because the whole being a nun thing, and also she only is really in the one game. I think she's in a side quest in first chapter, but that's it. It's either that or no, it has to be that because the other one isn't. Yeah. Anyways,
maybe. Wait,
for the PSP version, I know for a fact that
I see. But
I don't know if it's in the PS or the PC version.
This game is all about Kevin and his deep dark past and how he, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, the reason it's all about him is part of the game.
Yes.
Like, it has to be all about him because that's what it's being based off of.
I know.
I like it.
That's, I know. Yeah, you love this game to death.
I do.
It was cool. Of course, it made me like Kevin by the end.
Wow, you sound so like hurt about that.
It took too long. I'm hurt that like I would have liked to like him sooner. I'm mad it took that long, right?
Yeah,
This
get it.
just like okay. Like yeah, he has hurt and it's like when story moments hit, I was like, okay, I think Kathleen was watching me as I was streaming it. I was like, there's no way this is what's happening, right? Oh my god, it is. Ow, ow, ow. Like, you know,
Yeah.
very tragic backstory that hurts a lot, as Falcom does.
Oh my god, yeah. I was actually going to talk about something that's a little before that.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a certain area. I know the song is called "Golden Road, Silvery Road" because it's
Oh,
you split up the party.
yeah. It's
Um,
also a golden road and a silvery road.
Exactly. Yeah. And when you find, like, if you're playing these games, you're gonna pretty much pick up every chest, and one of the chests has a weapon.
Both of
And
them they have weapons for both of them.
I know, but in this case, I'm talking specifically about Kevin.
Kevin's. Okay.
Because Reese does kind of react to the weapon as well that she gets, but not nearly as much as Kevin does.
I don't remember this.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, no.
Like
he
I kind
gets-
of, but I don't remember exactly. Like I knew he reacted, but I don't remember what he did at all.
Well, he's just like, this is like a weapon that was made for me. This is like my perfect weapon.
Yeah.
And then later at the end of that dungeon, a certain character goes, "So how did you like my present?" And I'm like, oh, I like where this is going.
Oh. Yeah.
It was at that point I started being like, oh, okay, so like this is far more connected to Kevin than I originally thought, because I thought it was, because most of the stuff we were learning about was Kevin related in a tangential way.
He's
but
also
this
the
was
main
flat out-
protagonist, but
Yeah, but okay, Estelle and Joshua are the main protagonists of their game. It doesn't mean everything we learn about them is connected to them necessarily.
yeah,
like-
but not everything we learn in the third is connected to them because there's a Joshua
but-
moment in that game too.
Yes. No, there's a moment for every character, and I
Yeah.
love that. Even the characters you never expected to get in your party. Like, oh my god, there are so many party members in that game.
Dude, I can't believe some of the things.
And you're only
when you
allowed
had
to pick 4.
when you had to fight the hardest boss in the game. I was like, are you serious right now? This is
That was
bullshit.
fun. It was hilarious. Oh my god, I love that boss.
Playing that game in hard is stupid.
Yeah,
But I did
can
it!
only,
I did
I
it
can
by
only
breaking the
imagine
game.
that boss on hard. Because like that boss on normal sucked.
Well, it sucks because you're all like, why don't you just delay him? And I'm like, cause you can't. He's immune.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because at that point I think you get a second S break for Kevin, but I was like, I'm swapping back to the other S break for a bit.
Oh yeah.
Or
Wait,
it
there's
might be-
3. No.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. There's 3.
Oh, is there 3? Because there's that one. There's
There's the
heal
one you have in the
I mean,
second chapter,
yeah.
and then there's the red one and the blue one, which are essentially
Are they
the
separate
same.
or are they same? Like, do they change
They're the same, but they
depending on the
change.
story? Okay, so it's technically
Yeah,
the
as you
same.
get further in the story, you change color
Dun, 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 dun,
'Cause of reasons.
dun, 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 dun. That song's pretty good.
Mhm.
Where were
I
we?
love
Oh
overdosing.
yeah, I'm glad you knew what song I was singing.
Yep.
100%. Yeah, man. Third is a
So-
lot of backstory and a lot of shit.
And then you get to the bit where you finally learn about Kevin and all the shit he's gone through. And I'm not going to say everything, but I, as much as I inferred, I didn't expect half of that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't. That was just like
It was pretty
out
extreme.
out of left field, the amount of torture this poor child had to go through. And then to top it all off, what happened. And it was like, God damn it, has your life not been hard enough? Have you... Like, I get it. This is why you are the way you are. Oh my God, you didn't deserve this. This isn't fair.
It's like terrible childhood into happy times into terrible times. It's like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Into like the worst mission ever.
It's the worst thing that could have ever happened to him.
And then top that off with how he reacts to that happening to him. And it's like, my heart just broke for him. And like, I know when he had gone through some shit, but seeing him go through the shit in a cutscene, it's like, oh my God.
As cutscene as Falcom gets, by which we mean picture slides.
Picture slides.
That's usually
with
really good.
Occasional changing bits in the picture slides.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Damn. Yeah, it was intense. I was like, oh shit, son. Like, again, I think I was streaming at the time, and Kat rewatched it with me, and I was like...
Yeah, I made you stream that, and I made you stream Stardoor 15.
Yeah, you did. I don't know
'Cause
why
I'm an asshole.
you are an asshole.
I
I
was
stayed
curious to see
silent
your
throughout all of
reaction to
Stardoor 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was crying so hard. I was mad. I actually had to get up and walk away from the computer because I was so mad to pull that kind of shit
Yep.
to a character who did not deserve it.
Yeah. Falcom, that was bad.
That was uncalled for. You should go through the corner and you think about what you did.
But yeah, man, there are story modes for everyone. Everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
You even get
Chloe
to find
gets,
out.
like 2.
Yeah. Oh my God, those story modes are great. We can't talk about those.
No.
I was just gonna be like, it was cool to see the out from the very beginning, literally the beginning of this podcast. I was like, so what happened between age 10 and age 16 between Estelle and Joshua to make them like each other? And it's like, oh, you got that. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you start to see and you see just
Aw.
how sweet Estelle is, and
so
like despite
adorable.
having lost her mom and her dad never being there, how energetic and happy she is.
Dude, I read a manga. Sorry, never mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, there's like a side story manga.
Yeah.
With Joshua, Estelle, and Toval.
Oh, okay.
I read it. And
Oh, yeah. I
and
think
it's adorable.
the one about the storybook, or
No, it's the one about a ring that makes you makes you get judged for like your past sins.
Oh, neat.
And like
I
you-
haven't read
you
that one.
fall- Yeah, so like Joshua picks it up.
Oh,
And
no.
he like, cause it's good, and it's also not that long. So it's like, but like when he picks it up, he sees like everyone he loves dead, and he killed them, including Estelle.
Oh.
And then, because Estelle immediately like they're like, oh my God, that's what this thing does. And she turns around, she's like, Joshua picked it up. And then it goes to Joshua and how he feels, how the ring is affecting him. And then so he sees that, and he sees Estelle's face, and he's like freaking out. And then he's like, Joshua, don't worry about it. Like she says a more Estelle line, right? Or he's just like,
Yeah.
but don't worry about it, because you can always move forward, Joshua, right? And then like she like her hand appears out of nowhere as like anime does, and he
Yeah.
grabs it, and he gets awakened from the dream, and she's like, "You right, Joshua?" Smiling with sun behind her, and he's like about to cry. I'm like, oh, so precious. Sorry, I love those
I
characters.
just want them to be happy.
Yes,
That's really what this comes down to.
we
Is
just
I
want these characters to be
characters
happy.
to be
Damn it.
happy. Because
Oh.
like skipping to the end of the third, and I know I'm not out of all the games, I don't want to spoil the third that much.
Yeah.
But when we get to the lowest area of the third, and Reese snaps him out of his stupidity because he's being a dumbass at that point.
Well, guys,
I
you're
was
being
getting
dumbasses
annoyed
at
with
some
him.
point in this
Yeah,
game.
'cause
I
it's-
swear to God,
He's just like, no, I'm going to
I'm gonna punish
don't
myself.
worry, this is my punishment. And it's like,
No.
no.
No, bitch.
You don't get to run like this. You don't get to be like that. That's
Literally
not okay.
what Estelle has told Joshua.
Yeah, no,
I called
exactly.
it. I called Reese. I was as it was happening. I was like, Reese is having an Estelle moment.
No, that's the thing. Like, Kevin and Estelle have a lot in common. Just they went down different paths. But Reese and Estelle also have a lot in common because Reese is just like, I'm not going to take any of this shit. No,
Yeah.
you left me for years, and I just found out why, and that is not okay. And we are having a talking to later, Mister.
We are having a talking to, and you are not getting away from that. Yeah.
And yeah,
That
just
part was cool.
that whole bit was great.
And
And
then
then
at the end, they're all cornered, and he does the cool thing, and then he's like, "Well, there's more devil shit," and then everyone's like, "Guys, we're here!" And I'm like, "Yeah,
yes.
that's awesome."
Oh, and I love how he faces, like, that's the first time Kevin really outwardly faces the shit he's done. Because
Yeah.
at this point, he's still hiding behind that mask. And it's at this point where he's like, no, I kind of have to accept the fact that this has happened to me. And yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah.
And then and
We fight our inner demons, and it's great. I love that game
It's
so much,
great.
and the music
And
is so good.
It is.
And it has so many potentials for fan theories.
Fuck that. And then the end happens, everyone splits up. Because, like, keep in mind that everyone gets together, but in, like, the real world, they're, like, all in separate places.
Yeah.
So it's like everyone's having, like, goodbyes, and it's just, like, some of the goodbyes are... I will say Estelle definitely had the show
Oh my
there.
God.
Had the best speech by far.
She really did. That
That
goodbye
that had
speech
me in
was
tears. Like,
amazing.
I
Yeah.
was crying. I was like, oh my God.
And it was really like insightful too,
It was, like,
considering like she is so dependent on that character, and yet she says what she says
Yeah.
there, and honest.
And I guess Joshua has, like, that face. Like he doesn't think he's gonna happen. More like he's like he didn't consider a possibility, but man, I didn't think she would say something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, whoa. She's like,
She's being realistic.
she's being
about the
realistic.
situation.
Yeah, she's kind of being.
And that's so not like her.
She's usually very optimistic, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's what keeps her going, and that's why everyone loves her, because that's why she's, quote unquote, you know, shines like the sun, because she just draws people to her. She has that energy. But, like, she has her moments. She's like, I can see through certain people, like, i.e. Joshua. Sometimes Kevin. Rarely. Like,
Sometimes.
once. Renee.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes she has that moment of like, look, this is how reality is. And it's
it
like those
sucks,
moments
but we're
are,
going to do
yeah,
our best. Like,
yeah. Just like, it sucks, but we could all get through it together if like we try. And it's like, oh, Estelle, you're so good.
and that's why, like, on one hand, like, I know they're in the Crossbell games, or I'm pretty sure they're in the Crossbell games. But
Estelle
at the same
Joshua?
time, I don't want. Yeah,
They are?
I think so.
No, I knew Kevin was.
I know Kevin is, and Reese. But I'm pretty sure Estelle and Joshua are there for a bit too.
I would have heard about it. Kimpy would have said
Okay.
something. Sorry.
Either way,
Either way.
I don't want them in any more Falcom games because when they're not there, they're happy, and Falcom can't do anything to them. But at the same time, I
wanna
want
see
them
them
so
again.
desperately to. I just want to see them again,
I want to see them again.
especially because Sen 1 and 2 are 2 years after this game, and
Dude, seeing them at age 20 would be trippy.
I know, right?
It'd be so trippy.
But at the same time, I want Falcom to keep them far away.
Falcom can have them be happy, right?
No.
Yeah?
If Falcom puts them in a game, they're not going to be happy.
But what if the unhappiness is focused towards a certain other character that I love to death and
Are you saying Rena's suffering?
yeah, I am. I'm saying he's suffering a lot and it's hurting my soul and I don't know what happens.
We'll find out eventually, but yeah. It's funny that, like, you connected so much to Reen, and I love Reen, but it's at the same time, I'm kind of like, I don't care for Reen as much, the same reason that you don't care for Kevin as much. I felt like Reen was hiding, and I didn't like that.
Why did you say that earlier?
Because it's funny you would say it now.
And how come you fight me so much on Kevin? Because I'm not fighting you about
But the thing
Rain.
is, I still like Reen, and I never felt like Reen was two-faced. I just felt like what he was hiding was unnecessary, and he could have gotten a lot more help a lot sooner had he just said something instead of being a broody, mopey, suffering boy.
I was gonna say that.
Kevin hides behind a smile. Reen hides behind a.
You know what? That's what I love about him. He's such a good boy, and he deserves all the head pats. we can't go into Reen because I will start going in
No,
depth about.
no, we don't have
this.
time to go into Reen.
Not at all. But yeah, the third ends, and it's a good game, and it's Joshua and Estelle and Kevin. They are great characters that need all the protection in the world.
Especially Kevin. Like Joshua and Estelle at least have a sort of soft place to fall. If that makes sense.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying that. Like, I'm just saying Kevin. Like, I really want to give him the protection. I want to give him the love he deserves because he's denied it to himself for so long.
That's true.
For such a stupid reason. Like, I just want him to be happy.
Yeah. I just still think the only thing that they could do is the fact that a couple of times Joshua has still been all like, I'm not sure this is good for you, Estelle, and Estelle's been like, stop. So like they could still do stuff with that, but
we went through this. I hunted you down, and then I got kidnapped, and then you saved me. It's just gonna happen again, so don't. Let's just skip the middle.
I'm waiting for the reverse. I seriously want to. Joshua is in trouble, and I mean, besides, she saves him in this way, right? But like, you know, more physical. Like he's captured, and she comes in and saves him. That'd be cool. But
I'd be okay with that.
yeah.
And I'm just thinking how that could happen with my theory of who the Grandmaster is.
Thanks.
Oh,
You know what? We're at an hour and 50 minutes. We might want to just stop.
Yeah. So, end of the story. Kevin is the bestest. I love him. Probably a bit too much.
Yeah. Joshua and Estelle are best couple.
yes, I will agree with that wholeheartedly.
I still
In the
like them
entire
better than
series.
Kevin, but you know,
Yeah,
we all have our opinions. This is fine.
Yeah. And Sky's a good game.
Guys, you should play it.
You should play it
Even
again.
if you've
'cause
listened
if
to us, you should.
Yeah,
you
if
should
you-
play it still.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how you get me to get into a really heated argument, I guess, is defame Kevin and I get mad.
Yeah, I noticed. At least when you're all like, Green's two-faced, I wasn't like, you bitch.
I wasn't saying, like, I'm just saying he could have talked. Communication is a good thing.
If
That's all.
people talked, we wouldn't have a lot of these games. I'm just saying. Just saying. People hiding behind something is usually what drives this forward.
Yeah.
Little Reen is he's just a good boy, and he has so much pain, and like he's trying to do it himself, and he's slowly realizing he should like rely on others, and it's great.
Gee, that sure does sound like another character.
Shut up,
who he
'cause it's
shows
not.
so much a connection to.
No. Oh my god, you brought that up. I am gonna kill you.
So, I guess the next episode is canceled because Maddie's gonna murder me, so, thanks for stopping by and spending this time with us. If you like what you saw, follow my Twitter. It probably won't be there for much longer at this rate, because I'm dead. I'm a dead girl walking. We also stream on Twitch. All the links are in the description. Please join our Discord where, yeah, if you ask, I'll talk about Kevin all day and all night. You just gotta say the word, okay. But I guess you'll have to do it really fast because I'm gonna be dead soon.
Everyone have a good day.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, Kevin, good boy. Joshua, good boy. Estelle, best girl.
Yes. This is this we can agree on before you.
Yes. It was nice, everybody. See you next time.
Bye.